Good afternoon. I'm glad everybody could make it for the 2013 Eastern Illinois University first full season of recruiting. I would like to tell you guys what we've accomplished in recruiting this year. We wanted to make our football team larger. And if you weren't going to make us larger, then you need to make us faster. And we went out to increase our size on this football team. It was very offensive-oriented in our recruiting. We feel like we have to spend a lot more time with our offensive personnel than we do with our defensive personnel. So it was slanted that way. But as you can see there, from the offensive line to the wide receivers to the defensive line with their body weight, we're trying to get this football team a lot bigger. Obviously, we had a lot of success last year, from worst to first, winning the OVC, getting another opportunity in the playoffs, and then losing that game up there against South Dakota State. Once again, just proved that you can't dismiss the physicality of a football game. There's a physical part of the game. You have to embrace it. You have to welcome it, and we want to be as big and as physical as the next guy, so we can have an opportunity to win those games in December when the ground is frozen and the wind is blowing. So we felt that we have accomplished that. I think the coolest thing about at coaching at this level is that you go for body types, speeds, and you don't really get locked into positions. I mean, outside of maybe a quarterback here or there, you're really looking for athletes, get them on the football field, throw them in the pot with the rest of the athletes that you already have, and then let them sort themselves out to what positions they play. So to answer your question, yeah, we want to get the best players on campus, and then we'll figure out where we want to play them. Yes, sir.
Think any of these boys can start next fall?
I hope they all are capable of starting next fall, but if that's the case, that means we've done a bad job of evaluating the guys beforehand and a bad job of preparing the people that are in this room that's been here for 2 or 3 years. If there's one or two that has the ability to do that with God-given talent, then so be it. But hopefully, the best football team we've got is in that weight room working out right now. And those are most of the guys that are going to represent us on the football field. Anything else? Yes.
Can you just talk about the class as a whole, what you like and dislike?
You know, it's a very diverse class. The first thing that jumps out at me is that the defensive help that we've got in the junior college. We've got big guys in the junior college on the inside. We had to beef up in the inside, beef-wise, so that we don't get pushed around. I thought we did a great job with that last year. Don't misconstrue what I said. I thought we were good and sound in the middle, but graduation hit us hard in there, so we had to go back and replace some of that stuff. We've got a couple of individuals that are going to help us on the outside pass rush, maybe be able to replace some of the sacks that Dale gave away. And then after that, we came back with, from the junior college, we came back again with offensive linemen. We feel like we have to reshape our offensive line. We're looking for a different look, so to speak. And we want those junior college guys to bridge us the time, bring them in here and mix them with the O-line guys that we have now, and bridge us the time to develop the young guys. And that's why we went heavy on the young offensive linemen, to make sure to give Coach Edinger a year and a half to really get these 6'6" guys ready, get their 4-packs going. Most of those guys don't have 6-packs. So get their 4-packs ready to go, so that in a year and a half, we should be set on the offensive line for 4 to 5 years here. So the junior college guys are the bridge. The freshmen are the future. If one of them is good enough to play, so be it. If not, we'll put a couple of those guys on ice and then thaw them out later, after they grow up in the weight room. Okay?
I just have one other quick one, and that's about recruiting during the course of a whole recruiting season. Did any one or two other schools' names pop up kind of regularly that they were recruiting some of these same players?
Most of our battles were against Western Michigan.
Was there a commit or two that you thought really tied this class together?
No, I think it's more of the groups. It was really important to get the young offensive linemen. One of our players made a comment at one of the dinners. They're like, "Coach, most of these freshman recruits are bigger than the offensive linemen we already have here. And he started laughing, and I wasn't laughing. Exactly my point. We want to get bigger bodies on the offensive line. We want to get our body weights up on the defensive line so we can be a lot more physical. Yes, sir.
Learn how to psych it, but with that in mind, like where the team is at now, where do you hope the team goes to in the future? You know, you're bringing in all these bigger guys, and you say you want to get them ready for the next year and a half. So, what's your hope for the future?
What we're looking for is a more physical football team, a more football team that has more body weight, that can push people around more on the football field. Space is hard to find on a football field where everybody's protecting their space. And sometimes you just got to have a body that's big enough and strong enough to just roll over the other body and acquire the space. So we want a bunch of acquirers, okay, that's going to take people's space away so that we can have it, okay?
How much different was this recruiting season than last year as far as you've established yourself with an NEC championship and maybe you had more time here?
Great question, Brian. I think that when you come in on a half of a recruiting season, going back to last year, if 50% of those recruits are hits, I mean that's a good recruiting season for a staff coming in with half a season. Most staffs look for like 33 and a third. If you get 1/3 of those guys can help you 4 and 5 years down the road, that's a good season. We were trying to hit 50% when we came here the first year. That's not the case with this class. This class, we've got 20-somewhat recruits. We need to nail somewhere between 14 and 16 out of this class. We need to be right. You won't be able to tell until 2-3 years down the road. But you need to look at this class 3 years from now and look at it and go, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes. And we need to be somewhere between 14 and 16 on the Y's and not on the N's. And that's how you know you're doing a good job recruiting.
Just looking at the incoming players' stature, is there anyone that you see that could see playing time as a freshman or as a transfer?
All the junior college kids need to have they should have enough athletic ability to play here. Now, whether they can come in and put in the effort and beat the young men that we have out here, that's a different question. And understand that the young men here are going to get 15 more practices with this coaching staff before the junior college kids even get here. But you shouldn't recruit a junior college young man to be a backup. You should recruit somebody that has the ability to start, and then they've got to come in here and put the effort to be a starter. Doesn't mean they're all going to be starters, but they should have the ability to start for you. Out of the freshman class, who knows? You know, who would have known that Keandre would have played for us last year? You know, who would have known that Kamu would have played for us last year? We really don't know. It's how they come in, how they adjust to college life, and how fast they attain the knowledge, the information to be able to go out there and help us.
Could you talk about the 2 quarterbacks on the list?
You know, obviously really excited about Austin Green, state champion. The thing when you look at the quarterbacks along with Addison, they can throw the football. You know, everyone says we're not looking for a runner. We're looking for the best throwers in the state. If we want to be able to throw the football. Now, if they can throw the football, if they can run too, that's an advantage. Sure it is. But the thing we're looking for is the best throwers. We try to go after that. Both of those guys have the ability to play other positions, but both of them are going to start at quarterback, and we would like for one of them to be able to hold down that position, since we've right now only have 2 quarterbacks on campus. So that's definitely a necessity. Those young tailbacks, we'll get them in the mix. We'll see how they adjust. One of them, Deviante Sales, tore an ACL during the season, but he was so electric. We had already committed to him. He had already committed to us, so we honored our commitment. We went through every step of the way with his medical procedures and his doctors and how they fixed that thing. And then obviously based off of what Adrian Peterson did this year in the National Football League, we have a chance if the surgery was done correctly. So we'll see how that goes. But we think that those guys are going to be able to help us from a speed, quickness point of view. We just got to see if they're going to be able to unlodge the young men that are already playing that position for us right now.
Comment on the 3 D1 transfers.
Sure. You got De'Vante Davis is an athletic linebacker from Dallas, Texas. Was in the Baylor program. All 3 of these young men, I would say, that are lacking from a strength standpoint. They need to get into the weight room. They need to be a lot stronger. They're going to be able to help us with their upper body parts of it. But when you go to their ball skills, quickness, things that they can do on the football field, they have ability that some God-given ability that we can't teach. De'Vante Davis is very smooth in space. He operates very well in space. Jeff Leapak, not as fast as some of the other receivers on the football team, but he has great size, great hands, great knowledge, understands the offense very well, may have an opportunity to help us. Nico Shepard was an athletic person on the FIU team with great high school ties to St. Thomas Aquinas, Fort Lauderdale, one of the key programs in the state of Florida. We feel that he has an ability, an opportunity to play 2 or 3 positions with us. Again, a 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" guy that has ball skills that should be able to help us catching the football and moving around in space with a bigger body. All of them need to get stronger, but their weakness in the strength in the weight room better be their strength on the football field. They need to be. We need to be pleasantly surprised when we start putting the ball in the air and see their hand-eye ball skills when we start spring practice.
Is there still a position or 2 that you'd like to fill either in coming weeks or maybe after spring practice?
We've still got some loaves of bread in the oven, yes sir. Obviously, because of NC2A rules, we're not allowed to talk about that. But recruiting hasn't stopped for us. It's still going on right now. We may have 1 or 2 or 3 Brian additions to this class. We've just got to wait and see how the chips fall. Yes, sir.
So far, are you satisfied with the recruitment?
Very satisfied. I think that we really reached our goals. We wanted to get bigger. I think we are bigger. When fall rolls around, or when summer rolls around, thanks to Barbara Burke and our athletic department. When summer rolls around, you guys should see some Sasquatches, some big cats walking around here, and you're going to know that they're the new football players, and they need to look different than the guys that are here already, and it needs to continue to be that way. That it? All right.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.